All right, guys, there was no trade today on any of the accounts here. As you can see, the account summary, 0 PNL. Same thing with the top step one. There was no trades here, as you can see, the PNL. So first things first, when I woke up, this is the first thing I saw was the 15-minute, sell side imbalance, which honestly, candles were just holding, wasn't moving lower, breaking structure, reaching for this low down here, which was the 1 hour buy side imbalance high. And then eventually we swept liquidity. And after that, I expected the market to start to push up higher because we were gonna make this inverse. I was like, all right, yeah, this is nice. Breaking market structure for value. Disrespects, sweeps the low, breaks the low. And we came back up to this BPR, and then I was like, all right, this looks nice. But I didn't take it. Reason why is because on the 15-minute time frame again, the 15-minute time frame we had a SMT with these, and then I was like, all right, if this doesn't make it inverse, I'm not gonna trade. We swept it. I was like, okay, cool. We swept. We didn't have any CRT form either. So this is another thing. If we have SMT, we can have CRT, or we don't need an external sweep on the lower time frame. So we didn't have an external sweep down here, but ES did. So ES reached into that, and then I was like, all right, this has to reach the high. It has to push up higher, and that never happened. So the market was gyrating around. You can see we had a 1 minute SIBI, got inverse, became a BPR, didn't hold, and we were expecting this high to be met, but that never happened. Instantly then and there, I knew like the market was not going to be tradable. So I just called it quits, closed the charts, walked away. And it was just one of those days where you have to walk away, bro. And if you're trading this and losing, you got to understand why, like the conditions aren't there. No news. We're sweeping both sides back and forth, no clean price action. You can see here just back and forth, back and forth. Even here is back and forth, and then, the 5 minute is what kind of confirmed it for me. I was like, all right, the 5 minute isn't clear, then I'm not trading. The 5 minute was not clear here, back and forth, before pre-market, before 9:30 open, all this, I was like, yeah, this is not good. This was nice. I won't lie. This all was nice. If the market simply just boom, reached into this and then started to move lower, retrace back into this and then started to push up higher, if not even retrace and then go down lower, I would be fine with that. But it just wasn't really as clean of the price action I would want. Even this right here, you can see a bunch of wick stalling around inside of this 5 minute SIBI to then eventually move down lower to reach into the 1 hour bias and imbalance. But the bias was bullish. I won't lie to you. So this was the bias here. I was bullish, especially on the 4H. On the 4 hour, we had a 4-hour bearish BPR, but on the 1H, we had a 1 hour buy side imbalance. Again, we're moving up higher, breaking structure. I would have wanted to see the market. I would have wanted to see the market retrace and then eventually go higher, reach into this buy side imbalance and disrespecting the 4 hour bearish BPR. We can see we did sweep liquidity, and eventually we were stalling around it, and then eventually now we're moving down lower. Same thing with ES. We were inside of the 4 hour SIBI. We had 1 hour buy side imbalance. We broke the low. Now we're inside of this 4 hour buy side imbalance, which is nice to see, honestly. Reaching back down into equilibrium of the range. Yeah, we're close to equilibrium. The market is really bearish for YM, honestly. Today, this would have been the best market to trade, honestly. You can see as soon as we swept liquidity and eventually we formed the SIBI, formed the change in the state right here, this would have been a beautiful trade idea. If not, then this one right here, we had a break of market structure, fair value gap right there. That could have been your trade idea to one of those lows, or to the 1 hour PDA right there. That would have been a beautiful trade idea. This would have been the best one to trade, honestly, with how it started moving really, really, really clean, picking up the volume, picking up the pace. Boom, first fair value gap. Okay, you were iffy about it. Second one, this kind of confirms it right here, especially with this right here. And this could have been your trade there, bro. Simple as that. If you weren't comfortable with that, you can just hold. It's not bad, quick speed. But that was pretty much really it today. Like, this thing flushed, nice price action. This one chopping around. Same thing with ES. It was flushing, but it was still a little choppy while it was flushing. But then eventually it just started to pick up the pace, catch up to YM. Beautiful. Gold. I was looking at gold earlier, but it just wasn't living up to the expectations I was giving it. Just not worthwhile. Again, also we're inside of a range. We swept the lows. Now you want to see the reversal, slow chop, slow climb up, especially during New York session. This is looking like Asia session, bro. This doesn't look like New York. This doesn't even look like. It looks like when you're done closing. It's like the CBRs, the central bank dealing range. That's what it looks like. It's chopping. Looks like after the market closes and it opens back up. This is what the price action looks like, bro. All right here looks choppy, nasty. Same thing for NQ. Looks nasty. Doesn't look good. Just wait for tomorrow. Wait to see another day to trade. And review now. I'm gonna go review my trades that I've taken this week and then the back tested trades that I have taken past weekend. So that's pretty much really it, bro. I need to review those trades, take notes, and analyze and really regurgitate the information, and then eventually this weekend probably back test a good amount of trades. I won't lie, I might live stream it. I'm not too sure, but yeah, we'll probably back test Saturday and Sunday. So going into Monday, we're gonna be fresh off the rip, and yeah, so that's pretty much really it.